Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Let's Play HOI4 Kaiserreich Armenia. Let us continue on from where we last left off. So it's April 15th. Well, I'm going to declare war on Qing. That didn't get captured in this video because after like 5 seconds I had a little bit of a technical issue, but here we are. So we're getting our cult of personality. Once you're done, I'm kind of thinking, like, do we just rush for a war against the Ottoman Empire and immediately bring them back into the Moscow Accord? We could. The 10 of 23 divisions. Don Kubin's been killed off, so again, we're going to split that between Russia and Ukraine. Apparently, it says Russia should get these territories. Does it want to give this to Ukraine? It does, yes. So, I mean, sure, if you guys want to do it this way. There you go. Peace has been signed. The Democrats protest against Nezhdeh's policies. It appears that Nezhdeh's latest measures, and especially the massacres of Yevrin, have caused the Democratic parties for the country to lose all faith in our political movement. Today, these parties issued a joint statement in which they declared Nezhdeh responsible for the recent bloodbath and openly demand his resignation and introduce free elections on Armenian soil. Furthermore, some of them also took to the streets of the capital and organized a memorial march to honor the victims of the massacre. However, this march became increasingly political as the number of participants increased and ended up as an open protest against Nezhdeh's regime. Something a threat to his rule, the party responded swiftly by ordering the military to break up the violent demonstration against the saviors of Armenia. Still, Nezhdeh felt that this was not enough. He decided to go even further and officially decreed the dissolution of all political parties and organizations not integrated into our political movement. By stripping away their last political powers, he hopes to silence the remaining politicians of the opposition once and for all. I am hoping that we're not going to get couped. I don't know if we can. It might be possible. I don't know. I mean, right now we have 11% popularity. Most of the party support is still for the paternal autocrats, but they're in a coalition with us, so it still works out. Wait, actually, are they still in a coalition with us? Yes, they are. Fantastic. So we've got, like, in total about, like, 65% support, which I think is more than reasonable. So Russia's going to seek allies. They got a few. I mean, they might actually rush their way straight down and declare war on Germany. They are, you know, two years late to the party, I think, at this point. But that's okay. Better late than never, I guess. I'm hoping that, like, I'm looking at the situation in Europe right now. I'm hoping that the British don't just kill Germany before we have any chance to actually intervene in the war. That'd be a little depressing for us. Okay, so we will get our cult of personality. National identity is an attack bonus against the Ottomans. It's also a popularity boost. You are also a negative 10% stability, which, you know, very cool. Actually, it's a +5 and then a negative 10, so it's effectively a negative 10 stability modifier there. 2% recruit population be really nice. I mean, we want to get down here. 15% attack against the Ottomans, huh? But you can only get this, I guess, after you get the casus belli against them. Like, wartime's kind of ass. I mean, we need all of these, right? Yes. I mean, what is there anything up here? We want to eventually fix our economy. But I'm going to do the political focuses first, just because if there's going to be a coup, it's probably related to these events. I don't think there's going to be a coup. I don't want two of my series at the same time to both have coup d'etats. First Ukraine, and then, of course, Armenia. Because I mean, it'd be kind of funny. But it's not what it's not where I want the series to go. Again, Ukraine is just completely neutral. You guys will not invade Austria. Well, you'll invade Austria at some point, but that's only after or Russia declares war on Ukraine? Well, no, it's only when Austria borders our faction they'll declare war. I mean, I guess they could declare war on the international. I think if Britain takes Berlin, Austria should join the war at that point. I'm, like, mostly sure. I mean, Lithuania didn't revolt. Estonia's in the Reichspakt. I mean, they still got an okay faction. You know, all things considered. But I don't know. I don't know what's really going to be going on with all the Reichspakt members, because, like, Ruthenia, I guess Ukraine's not in the Reichspakt, but Estonia, Finland. Do they have any of their units actually on our border, or they send all their units over to go fight the French? I wouldn't be surprised if they sent most of their army over to France. Like that just makes sense. That just makes sense to be a thing that you would do. There we go. I know how to speak English. Trust me. I've been speaking it for at least a year now. Yeah, you're 5% bonus. So we get 2 of you. That's going to be a 20% attack bonus, which would be really nice. Georgia joined the Moscow Accord. Okay, Georgia, me and you. We can be best friends. Actually, I'm surprised. I thought conservatives were, No, because maybe because they went Republican. What are you? You're just a regular Georgia. No, okay, they did actually remove Triaporti. Okay, so you're now in our faction. I mean, that's nice. I'm happy to have you. Latvia will maybe get an invitation into the faction. Maybe East Turkestan as well. I don't... They should. I'm mostly confident that, East Turkestan will join our faction, which in case will actually make attacking Turkestan, much easier for us. Part of Commune's doing pretty well down here in India. Japan should end up beating the Qing. Once they take Beijing, I think the Qing should, at that point, capitulate. Giving Japan a pretty strong position in China. Are you, you're still led by Zheng Zhaolin. But you're not a puppet of them quite yet. But if you're in the faction, I think that's going to make you more likely to be puppeted. I'm fairly certain. Oh, you're actually at war with Germany. I didn't know you were at war with Germany. I don't know how I didn't know, but I didn't know that you were at war with Germany. Yeah, because you're at war with the entirety of the International. You're at war with the Japanese. Again, the Entente, I mean, they're also at war. They're also at war with the CSA, actually. The CSA is doing very, very well for themselves. Are the Canadians just going to get killed by the CSA? I think it's very possible. Oh, yeah, Mexico, because Canada intervened. Mexico also intervened in this war as well. And now that you've taken over this province, Canada should, I think, at this point, effectively be split in half. Okay. The Entente's not having a great time. I don't think the Entente's going to get very far in this world. Not, you know, and we don't all have to succeed, right? It's okay. Some people are allowed to be failures. Canada, in this instance, is going to be a failure. A new national anthem. With our independence being secured for the moment and the political situation slowly stabilizing, our government can now turn its attention to less pressing issues. One of those that our country is still lacking an official national anthem, something that every modern nation should have. Though our politicians agree on the criteria of a good anthem, that it should be easily recognizable, represent our people and their values, there has been thus far several proposals as to which song fulfills these criteria best, and no clear winner has been determined yet. The obvious and probably the most popular choice would be Mir Heiderenik, or Our Fatherland, a song which has already been adopted by a national anthem of the First Armenian Republic after the Wilkrieg. Its text is based on the Italian poem and was written by Mikhail Nabadian in the 19th century, with the music being arranged by Parsheg Gontachian a few decades later, highlighting the glory of our fatherland and our flag, and the honor our soldiers find in death. It is a very patriotic song and perfectly reflects the struggles of our people have had to endure over the course of the last few decades. Some politicians, however, are arguing that we should have an entirely new state, one that will succeed where the First Republic has failed. Subsequently, they are of the opinion that our anthem should reflect that, and that an entirely new song should be composed to represent our nation. Not wanting to stray too far from her Menrick, though they still want to address the same topics while slightly shifting the focus from our past to our future, and also covering the rebirth of our nation as recently experienced. So we can have 2% stability, 10 political power, 1% war support, or 1% war support, 1% for our party. No, we definitely want 2% stability. Not even a question there. Will you join the war? You will not join the war, at least not right yet. But having, again, a direct war with Turkestan will make this war easier. Lash Orda has been annexed. Of course, they'll get entirely annexed by Russia. There you go. Moved away on the Kiva, moved away over to Turkestan, Bukhara. Democrats return. After the banning and dissolution of the parties, the Democrats found refuge in the countryside, the region not yet entirely under Nezdeh's grasp. In their exodus out of the capital and other major cities, they were joined by some low-ranking military officers, most prominent of them being Bogos Beydayan, a former Ottoman colonel who pledged allegiance to Armenia and her people during the Desert War, and has grown increasingly uncontent with Nezdeh and his extreme policies. Once they no longer found themselves in any immediate danger, they began forging plans, hoping to topple the our new government that has destroyed their once so lovely country. During this time, Bogos Beydayan more or less officially assumed leadership of the opposition group, mostly because both the Democrats and the common folk put their trust in him, and experience as an officer, confident that he could lead them to victory against our regime. After spending some weeks gathering support and perfecting their plan, the Democrats have now decided to come out of hiding and a march on the capital. Before the news of their return could spread throughout the country, they arrived in Yevrin, where many joined their ranks before the party had time to react. In no time, they had a substantial force, consisting mainly of the common folk of the capital, on our side. As it began to march towards the center of the Pink City, Nezdeh is trying to organize a defense and has ordered the military to shoot anyone trying to threaten his righteous rule. Since the Democrats and their followers are mostly armed with improvised weapons, save for a few soldiers and officers supporting them, the army could probably prevent a coup attempt with ease. However, a large part of the city's defenders are beginning to question their own motives and ask themselves whether or not they are still standing on the right side. And the Democrats really are the evil Nezdeh has made them out to be. Today, their leader of these men will decide the fate of our nation. And of course, our influence of the army stands. We're not going to have another coup. I brought victory to our great nation. And the military will support me in this. And the party triumphs once again. Although some voices within the garrison of Yevrin stated their concerns about Nezdeh's orders and his policy in general, they were quickly silenced by a giant wave of support for the party within the military. Heeding Nezdeh's command, soldiers stopped the protesters advancing towards the center of the city, albeit they still refused to open fire on the civilians that joined up with the Democrats. However, Bogos Beydayan and the soldiers accompanying him were deemed traitors of the state, a danger to the stability of the Armenian nation, and overall too dangerous to be left alive. Without any need for further orders from Nezdeh, his loyalists fell upon these traitors. At the end of the day, Bogos Beydayan, once famed and respected officer of our armed forces, lay dead in the streets of the city, killed by the men he thought would assist him in the endeavor to end Nezdeh's rule once and for all. After the fighting between Yevrin's garrison and Bey and a soldier started, the crowd that promised the Democrats their support quickly dispersed, fearing that they may otherwise be caught up in the crossfire. Democratic politicians that organized the coup laid down their arms shortly after their leader was killed. By now have been put in prison for their crimes against the government. With the leader of the former opposition now being forced to spend the remaining days in dark cells, isolated from the rest of the country, the last major resistance movement against the party has been crushed. Now that all is left is a general feeling discontent among the populace, but this will likely fade away if Nezdeh manages to fulfill his promises and restore Armenia to its former glory. Okay, so we got 15 political power. We retired a general, but apparently we weren't even using him in the first place, so he couldn't have been that great if we weren't using him. And you are not intervening in this war. 20 out of 20, promote national identity. What do we want next? First Christian nation, more stability, more party support. I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter too much which one we take first. I'm still kind of thinking we just go to war against Turkey now. I don't need the extra 15% attack bonus. I mean, okay, they do have 11 divisions on our border. But we can deal with 11 divisions. It's not so bad. By the way, how's our factory doing? Our singular lone factory. Okay, Armenia's not known for its great industrial output. So just don't be mean. Don't be mean to our little don't be mean to our little state, okay? Okay, so you're not being called into this war. But actually, just the fact that Turkestan is putting troops on your border does greatly benefit the Russians, that they should be able to much more easily just walk into the country. Eva has like one more city left to take until we can get over to Bukhara, have a larger border with Turkestan. This war should resolve itself sooner rather than later. And based on these times, I'm going to say we have about 3 to 4 months, probably maybe the end of 1941 until we actually join the Second Weltkrieg. Again, assuming that the British and the French and the rest of the International don't just win the war outright, I don't think they will, given the time frame. They're definitely going to weaken Germany, but I don't think they're going to kill Germany in like 4 or 5 months. Especially once Austria intervenes, it should buy Germany a little bit of time. Of course, once Russian troops start moving into Eastern Europe, it's over for them. They have no chance of survival once the Russian bear shows up. Because, I mean, how many troops do you guys have right now? 185? Germany has, I mean, at most 266, which is pretty good. Okay, Moscow Accord. I'm trying to think who else you can... I know Latvia can join. Greece actually is not in a faction quite yet. So, I mean, all 4 of these countries, I think, can still maybe join up with Russia. Serbia, Romania, Greece, Bulgaria. Bulgaria will join just because of Serbia, because they're a puppet. But yeah, Russia can probably actually get all of these members in. And if Greece actually also joins the war, the Ottomans are fricked. They can't fight a 2-front war. There's no way in hell. Okay, so Turkestan troops are now moving their way into the country. Is Georgia? What are you? You're just basic conservative. Everybody else in our faction is national populist. You guys should get with the program. I don't think national populist Georgia exists, though, unfortunately. Unfortunately for us, we can't have a completely unified political ideology. Even though I guess we're all like nationalists, right? So wouldn't like Russian nationalists probably want to annex Georgia, and the Georgian like nationalists would probably be opposed to? Yeah, there's Latvia in the Moscow Accord. What ideology are you? General autocrat? You know what? It's good enough for us. Apparently, Russia actually gave you a state. Good, nice on Russia to do that for you. And of course, you are... Okay, you've declared one Hayel. We knew this was going to happen. It's one of the stranger wars for sure. Because I guess, what is it? You have Bahrain, and they have like one border province here. 8 to 18, 12 to 58. I mean, Iran should be able to join up with Bahraini Commune's faction. But I've never really seen. I mean, the Eastern Syndicalist Union. I know Iran can join. I have never seen them actually get involved. They would open up a second front against the Dominion of India, and maybe also eventually kill off Tibet. Tibet, they do actually have a border here with the Dominion of India. So if they could kill Tibet, Bahraini Commune could invade through Kashmir, which would be a little... It would be different. Let's just put it that way. It would be different. Okay, Khiva has fallen to Russia. There you go. You can be properly annexed. How many troops? You got 4 to 12, 8 to 17. Okay, you got the Academy of the Sciences. And I'm glad that you are getting more members into our faction, because it does mean our research group will be much stronger now, which I'm happy with. Because, I mean, we have 76 days on you. And we're getting a lot of 1942 tech. Which, I mean, will benefit all of our allies, because the AI doesn't usually go too ahead of time. Surprised the Danish are still alive, but I guess they had to lose Copenhagen first. Oh, I'm also surprised that Norway is still somehow kicking. I think we just get our casus belli against the Ottomans now. Sorry, Ottoman Empire. We can bring Georgia into this war. We might get some Russian reinforcements in here as well. Not actually that we have any claims in the Ottoman Empire. Like, what are we actually doing this for? Just for the fun of it? They enslaved our people for centuries. Tyrannical regime. Well, we couldn't just do anything for a very long time. It's just beating up Turkey just for the fun of it. Okay, well, we can make them into our puppet state. They'll be national populist, which I don't know where that place is. I don't know where that place is. You, to be quite honest. Yeah. So who's in our research group? We have a 25% research speed bonus. We have 5 members of the faction, so we can get our theoretical 50% bonus. But like, who... 10%, 10%. How did, like, nobody have tactical bombers? What's going on with most of you? Nazar the Brave. A few years back, the Everett Film Studio blessed our nation's cinemas with the release of a new movie, Nazar the Brave. This comedy was written by Derek Debrician and Amasi Bartiosian. It's based on the popular folktale that goes by the same name. Because the story is loved and is known throughout the country, our people have been awaiting this movie for a while now. They're more than eager to watch it on the day of release. The movie tells the story of Nazar, a lazy and cowardly man who is more luck than judgment. One day, he jokes about robbing a caravan of a Shah passing nearby, but his wife takes him seriously and demands that he stays true to his word. Though he wants to chicken out of it at first, he later gets annoyed by some flies and manages to kill 1,000 of them with a single swat. This gives him courage, and the village's priest thereafter gives him a rag on which he wrote Nazar the Brave, who does not know killed 1,000 with a single blow. Confidence in abilities, Nazar then sets out to find the Shah, and through sheer luck manages to outsmart a bandit, whose horse he then takes with him. Then follows coincidence after coincidence, eventually leading to Nazar's name being known and feared throughout the world. And not just that, he also kills a dangerous tiger, becomes the king of a realm of giants, marries a giantess, and lives happily ever after. The movie was overseen, and the people are calling it both hilarious and exciting. Overall, it appears to be a good distraction from the shocking news coming from other parts of the world. It could very well be a classic that our people will still watch for decades to come. Very nice. Very nice. I'm assuming that these are based on real movies. That's usually how these work. These events, I should say. 150 political power. What do we want to do with you? Do we have any good military commanders? I can be an artillery leader, but we like don't have... I mean, I guess we can make you slightly larger. 1,200, 400. Yeah, let's make you into 18 combat with. That's not going to affect our maximum support divisions. Okay, we're actually taking the 8.3 penalty right now, which is not great. Can I actually even reinforce with a negative 8%? What is our reinforcement rate? Right now, it is negative 1%. Okay, so we actually cannot reinforce. So you might need to, yeah, consolidate. I never used the consolidate button, but here we go. Yeah, consolidate these 2 units together, please. Because with 7, we should be okay. Did they consolidate? I don't think they consolidated. No, they did. Maybe it did. There you go. Now you have 7 units. I think Greece canceled a non-aggression pact. Not a big deal for me whatsoever. Also, I didn't even hire anybody. I mean, do any of you make any difference for us? I mean, construction speed's kind of ass. I mean, I guess we could go for infantry weapons. It's fine. I mean, we are making a new rifle now, right? Yeah, so it should modify... Yeah, it should affect you. I'll say, like Denmark is making a little bit more progress, slowly freeing their country from the British. I mean, Germany is losing a little bit of land here, but the Belgians, and by that I mean the Wallonians and the... what are people from Flanders called? They're Flemish, right? Wallonians and the Flemish are doing a little bit of good work. Overall, I think the International should win, and like once... I mean, Britain's actually invaded Estonia, but once like we are in the war, it's over. It's over for Germany. It's over for them. But I do think, at least for right now, it's going to be a good time for us to end this episode. So thanks everybody for watching. And if you enjoyed, thumbs up. Not enjoyed, you can always thumb down. You want to subscribe, and goodbye.